Hey guys, it's been a hot minute. So I just wanted to say what's going on. Happy New Year. Sorry, my screen's blurry. Anyways, and I haven't seen you guys in forever. So I just thought I'd want to jump on here, check in. I've had some different people Instagram DM me and say hi. So I just wanted to see how you guys were doing and just kind of talk to you guys about my goals and what I've been doing. And just checking in. Like the world's in a really weird place, right? And so I thought it would be great. I'm gonna start with some old school cards, and I don't know. I just hope you guys kind of somehow this finds you. We've had a family on this station forever. And it would just be great to see you guys and just kind of touch base. So we'll see if anybody jumps on. Like I said, it'd be great to see you guys. And that's what's going on. So let's see. All right, first card out, Council of Light. And this is exactly how I was feeling. I love that this one came out. So, this is everything kind of coming together, looking upon us. I do feel like this is kind of like touching base, a council of some sorts, like a team meeting, and just a reminder that we're all still connected in this crazy world. Like I find that you see it. It's been so long, I forgot to like pick up my screen, but that's okay. It's I even have to have this reminder that everything's happening for a reason and just to follow our divine path too, right? Staying aligned with our higher purpose and realizing that we still have these amazing like guardians around us and to continue to speak to the angels and continue to do that spiritual practice and talk to the angels. Like, and what do I mean by talk to the angels? I know I repeated myself. It's like sometimes when we sit in a moment when, for me, I meditate in the shower and just feeling the cleansing and allowing whatever to come through, whether that's angels, whether you speak to I call them guardians, whoever you feel like those leaders are above us in that other realm that can shine some sort of expansive over like very much more higher connections for us that kind of see things from like this other dimension, right? So it's just that reminder that we are still all connected in this crazy world, and we still have counsel when we need it. So I'm going through the Moonology cards, and really what I'm doing is I'm just going through our old decks and just putting some familiarity on this. Okay, for me, it's kind of we stepped into retrograde today, so why not just use the cards we've always used, what we know, right? See if we could shed some light on what's going on right now. Everybody's feeling different right now. We're going through another wave of COVID, and just seeing. So 3 came out, which is awesome. Is awesome. Is awesome. It makes me so happy. So first, let's talk about retrograde right now and what's coming up. So for me, it's feeling like a lot of emotions are building up. And what I mean by that is the full moon's on the 17th, might be the 18th or 16th, wherever you are. But Central Time in America, that's what we're looking at. So it's that idea. The wolf moon is just this intense Wolverine moon that's like Cancer, very emotional, very touchy feely, making like these emotions like they just like sprinkle up, and then learning that self-care, reminder of hugging ourselves, reminder of like protecting our inner child. So what happens during this full moon for you guys and for me, if you've been watching this channel, is it's also a time to like reflect. Maybe there's something or someone you want to speak to. It's just that reminder. My door just blew open. It's kind of crazy because that's how a full moon kind of does that. Like it whisks this air through your soul, kind of like a window, right? It's like that refreshing. It's like that. Let's put the air all the way through our body and just give it a fresh breath and just this release, right? Just a reminder to keep breathing. But back to what I was saying, if you've been following my station, whether it's your twin flame, whether it's someone that's passed over, maybe it's just someone special, don't get caught up with the terminology. Um, get more caught on to the just your alignment and your purpose and who's important to you. And if there's someone that you want to reach out, communication is key. That doesn't mean it needs to be physical. Maybe you write a letter and you burn it and do an exercise. Maybe it's a meditation where you feel like you can go to the higher dimension. Maybe it's just even a communication to yourself, like I'm okay, I can still keep going. I've opened my heart. um, I do believe it is a time for healing. This is a perfect card to come out. So, how can this? So, let's just set up this dimension. So, we've got this retrograde at the same time we've got this full moon. So, what can we expect? Most likely, a lot of tears, right? It's a lot of emotions bubbling to the surface, a lot of reflection, right? This is the beginning of the year. I believe it's the Chinese that don't celebrate the new year for a little later in January, actually. That's when their new year is. But it's the idea of the first year, like it's like giving you an idea or giving you the chance to fulfill everything we were trying to fulfill up to this point of last year, right? So it could be in this moment, it's this reflection of you asking yourself, wow, did I accomplish that goal? Did I set out to do XYZ? Like, was there something that I still have a chance to do, get myself in alignment to move forward with this year? So taking the time to do that. And then the last one, surrender to the divine. So again, what does the surrender to the divine say? It's the idea of everything kind of coming not to a climax, but the idea of just allowing sometimes spirit to go through us. It's the path of least resistance, pretty much what Abraham Hicks again talks about, which is that cork when you pull it underwater and you naturally let it float to the surface, just allowing that to naturally occur so you can jump on that boat and just kind of ride it. It's a great feeling to have, and I think it's a wonderful way to use this energy of the full moon. And we have this saying, so I'm working in energy but on the corporate side now, and something I'd like to bring through with that is, we have terminologies on the corporate side too, right? So when I'm in art and I'm moving energy and I'm trying to find basically flow, it's the same idea. You're trying to find flow in a contract, get the project done no matter what, right? Keep the boat moving as long as you can go through the current with least resistance. It's that same idea, one foot in front of the other, especially right now. It's just that reminder that things can get heavy. New day. What is it? New day, new dawn. But it's still, another beautiful day. Sometimes we just have to let those feelings pass. Those feelings don't last forever. They're a moment. And we have to remind ourselves this life is a lot of little moments. So who we were yesterday is not who we are today. So allow yourself some forgiveness and just keep moving forward. So I'm going to do some Archangel Raphael cards. I felt called to him. It's about healing, right? These cards always make me super happy. They actually remind me of Sarah, who's been on this station. She always talks about Raphael. So anyways, we're going to talk to Rafi. How do I see him? I feel like someone just asked me that question, so I'm going to answer it, even though it was myself. But he's just big cherub guy. He kind of looks like Santa, but not with a white beard. He has dark hair. It's like dark and a little gray. Anyways, that's how he comes across for me. Everybody's different, right? So let's see what Raphael has to say with us. And I like him because he gives us like motivation on where our healing should be to get ourselves in alignment on what we need to move forward. So exercise is key. Perfect. So what do we think of when we think of exercise? Moving, shifting, inspiration, finding new places to be, to make ourselves feel that way. Release of toxins, getting healthy, really like looking at our core as an operational system and allowing ourselves to maybe, even if we choose to, I don't know, reward ourselves with a dessert we're also working out to keep our system strong and healthy to really get through this next year, which is really important, especially with all the viruses and different things that are coming through. So it says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for motivating me and guiding me to an exercise program that fits my schedule, my interests, and my budget. So right now, for me, I'm not going to the gym. So what are some different things that come to mind that I can do, online? I listen to this girl. I think her name's Chloe Teen. Don't quote me, but she's great. She has little different like exercise videos. I really like them. I find her really motivating and funny. And I don't know. There's different ones online. Also yoga. I actually like to do senior yoga. If anybody wonders, just because it helps me move my body early in the morning or at night. It's like kind of like that chi, just getting that good flow, like that burning sensation, work up a little sweat, but not too much. And it also realigns your spine. So like I said, there's different things. There's also weightlifting. I've done a lot of those. I just lost my weights in the move. So I got to find some more. So Archangel Gabriel, if you've been following my station, he's my favorite archangel. He's very, very playful. Again, every angel comes across different. To some people, Gabriel is a woman. For me, he's a gay boy. He's just this handsome guy who kind of dresses like a jester really elegantly and funny. He's playful. He makes me be creative and laugh at myself, which I think is really important. So to bounce out immediately, stay true to yourself and vulnerability. Okay. So stay true to yourself. That's what this video is about today for me. I really wanted to surprise you guys. So I went out and bought 3 new decks and I'm getting ready to actually disperse in them. And I'm going to talk a little bit about human design, but so stay true to yourself. That's that thought process to me. That's that. Where is your essence? Like when you wake up, hey, I'm Brooke. What is the core? How do you manage that? Where is that? Like, where is that for you? What do you naturally come back to? And just finding that within yourself. So if I'm staying true to myself, there's always some creative aspect of myself. Like I just did a Lego puzzle. I wake up in the morning, I do an exercise, I write down my creative ideas. I just started doing that. That's an idea from my best friend. It's a great one. It works. I'm not painting right now, so I'm starting to get there. I'm starting to think of shows I can do. I'm trying to get brought back in sachet art. I don't know what that looks like in this moment. I found a corporate job that works with energy. I like that. And then contracts and, training and different methodologies for that. But learning how to stay true to myself is not burning the candle at such a place that, energy is like currency. I'm using all my energy towards maybe a corporate job that's great for my brain, but not getting caught up with that where I lose myself and I don't have the creative side too. So learning how to balance the two is staying true to myself. I'm in a world now where in the corporate world, talking about angels and moving energy, people find a little like, what's the word? Like, I'm like this dancing cartoon. And they're like, what went on there, Brooke? Explain to us. And they're like, I've never met someone that's like sane that can explain this to me and blah, 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 blah. So it's interesting, right? I was like in LA and now I'm in a really reserved state and city. So I'm learning kind of how to shed and expand other people's mind and ideologies. And in order to do that, you have to be vulnerable. So this is the card of vulnerability, right? That's just the idea of, for me, in this full moon, it's really just about still releasing and shedding any parts of you that might have been still hurt or holding on to something, where you have the chance in this moment to change the game, right? You can be vulnerable and use those lessons towards like a whole new audience, okay? So one way I've been vulnerable, and I'm going to show you guys a little something. I have a new little friend. This is Miru. Come here. And I'm going to let you guys say hi to him. Say hi, guys. Say hi. Anyways, that's Miru. And in turn, he's totally opened my heart. And that's part of me being vulnerable, right? Allowing love to come into my heart in whatever shape or form I'm ready for. And it was great having this guy. I've been raising him for the last year. He's a curly coated retriever. His name's Miru. You guys will see him. He'll jump up on me here in a minute. But Miru is a Sanskrit and it means the abode that houses the gods. And it also in the rosary is the bead you pray on. So I liked it because, I'm getting ready actually to tap into talk about human design a little bit. I have not studied it, but I had my chart read and I'd really recommend it to you guys. It's really, for me, it was just all these affirmations and really just this confidence on who I am and what I've always seen myself as. And then to have someone read my chart and read it back to me was just mind blowing. So I really recommend it to you guys. I think it will put a foot into confidence. You can even do it yourself online. You don't even need anybody to do it. You can research it. But it gave me a lot of confidence and like a reminder of who I actually am. And for me, I'm a projector 1-3. And it just reiterated the facts that I don't do good with the same atmosphere. I like to explore. That's why I take walks. That's why I take hikes. One of the reasons I got Miru was to remind myself of how much I love nature and adventure and just creating my lifestyle around that again. And, for me, I've always needed my energy to move quite a bit. And when I move, I get inspired because it opens my mind up and it makes me expand. Even at home, I don't sit in a natural office or desk. I'll sit at different types of tables. One day I'm up on a bar stool, the next day I'm at a kitchen table. And all my life, people have tried to say, oh, that's chaotic because you move or you shift. It's not. It's like the artist in me. It's the same reason why I drive across country. I see different colors in the sky. They make me think of projects, and it's very meditative for me. So that's one thing. The other thing I got from it, and I wrote it down to tell you guys, so that's the reason I'm looking at my phone, because again, I'm not an expert in this, but what it gave me was just this confidence piece that I don't know, let me read it to you. So projectors have innate wisdom about what others need, and they have an innate impulse to use this wisdom to make the world a better place to alleviate pain and suffering. Projectors are designed to guide and direct energy, especially generator energy. So some things I want to say about making the world a better place to alleviate pain and suffering. That's why I was attracted towards creating art that made people not, oh, that's a beautiful piece, but actually made people shift inside of them in a different fashion of emotions to then spread those emotions to different people for a ripple effect. Okay. It's the same way of saying is like, I wanted my pieces of art to almost be like receptors of energy to zap the bad energy out and basically transform it into positive to help pain and suffering. So one thing I find really interesting is that I'm dealing with right now is the state I've chosen to live in. I would say refrains from wearing masks. And I'm not trying to get political here, but they have a different outtake on it, right? And for me, one thing I've noticed is I've had to step back and remind myself who I am and how I feel like I can uplift um, just, humanity, right? And my part for me is staying at home, trying to be less like intrusive on other people, wearing a mask, staying socially distant, and just really trying to listen to science, right? I'm not a scientist. I didn't go that path. I went to law. So doing my part, in the state I'm in, they didn't have enough nurses, so they've asked to get more nurses. So, for me, it's like not going to the office, even though it'd be great to see people. Okay. I had to make that conscious decision and in turn realize there could be repercussions towards it. But at the exact same time, I had to make that decision and step into my power. And I think that's part of holding true to like who you are. And really, I think these times are really giving us clarity. I've always been really aligned with 1111, 111. Those numbers have always popped up in my life, if you know anything about my past. And I just think it's that thought process of 1111 is reminding us we can all be divine, like basically keepers, and help uplift the consciousness. So, and then it continues because a projector has no motor to the throat and no sacral. They struggle being heard and recognized as well as getting things started. So, it's the same thing. Like I've been off this YouTube station for like a year. And today I was like, I have to do it. I have to get myself motivated. I miss my family and show up today, right? Who knows what other people think? But for me, the first step was showing up, getting back into the flow, reminding myself on this is what I miss. This is like my essence. And the biggest thing that I want to talk about is the point of the projector is it's the idea of you're dealing only with energy, okay? It's the workforce and the life force of energy. And when I started thinking about these things, it just it's like I'm so sensitive to energy, it's even easier for me to sleep alone, okay? So, and that's nothing personal towards anybody I date, but it's like really getting tapped in on this ideology of how many nuances there is on everyone and using the human design to learn a little bit more about yourself and how it talks about how in my particular model about being this basically conduit to holding energy down and seeing where it needs to be transformed. And something I like to bring up is the first time I did so I had someone do a sound bowl healing, and then my job was to kind of sit and listen, wait for everybody to get to their higher self, and then I was going to paint, and then they take the painting home, and then they keep it at their house, and then they align with that. And hold on one second. I had to throw the ball for the dog. And anyways, when this started going and the sound bowl healer started moving the music, I saw the energy moving. And immediately I walked up to someone in the middle of all this and said, like, I can feel this in your knee. Your knee's hurting. Like, come talk to me about that. Let's try to think of some exercises or what's going on there. And like can we use vibration? Can we use different like I'm not a doctor, but what does that look like? Then I found someone close to somebody else and I could instantly feel friction amongst them. So like immediately I knew using the sound waves of the energy coming through, how could I realign that class by shifting them around to again raise the energy and the consciousness, remove pain and suffering. Okay. So my point is do human design. It'll build some confidence in you. It really helped me. And so going in the new year, these little steps I'm telling you, maybe get a journal when you first wake up, right? If you're a creative, I'm guessing you are because you love YouTube, write some creative ideas, maybe try to start setting yourself some goals. For me, one of my goals was physical abundance. I killed it. By the beginning of the year, I was very, very happy. As you guys know, I talked to you guys about my learning disability before. I went through all of that journey last year. And it's great now because now that I'm using the other side of my brain, it's easier to align with this part. So learning, maybe through my trials and tribulations and my vulnerability, you guys can uplift yourself. So I'm going to go to the 3 decks I found. Keep in mind, I've never done these. But this one I was really drawn to. It's called Angel Ariel Oracle of Emanations. I think I'm saying that right. It's really, really cool. And I'm going to read just this one little paragraph because I'm not going to be able to say it right. But Angelarium is a lifelong project of this author's. Each angelic creature embodies and gives personality to concepts that are normally abstract. And then she just talks about how it's from her own internal exploration that she's moved these into forms of paintings. And it's a blend of aesthetic and rich history of Kabbalah to create a lens through which to see the world. Kabbalah is an esoteric interpretation of the Jewish Torah Torah and a Zohar. I might be saying that wrong. But this lore has been around for centuries and forms a well-rounded mythology of creation. And then it's talking about how there's masculine and feminine, earthly and spiritual, and observing the interplay of many of these aspects within the tree of life. The tree of life has two parts: 11 emanations and 22 paths. The emanations act as gates on the path to the tree of life. They are manifestations of indivisible and universal concepts. And I just thought this was really, really cool. I did this thing where when I went into this store, there was like shelves of these tarot cards, and I just went to the ones that called me. The first one I flipped over was animals in this deck, and I just thought it was cool because it's just been my pal and I for the last year, and I love that. So I went with this deck, and let's just see what I pull for you guys, and maybe somehow it'll assist you guys. Please, all these cards I'm pulling, I hope they come to you too and you can use them. So get ready because I'm gonna have to read these, but these kind of remind me of Dali. If you follow him, he's an amazing artist. But so maybe so it's called Netza, right leg, and I'm gonna pull it up. And the other one is Crown Spirituality. These cards are just so cool to me, and it's Katir. So first I'm gonna read Netza, and I'm sorry I'm having to read this, but like I said, I just got this, and it might take a little. Oh, hey, the first card, the second one we pulled is the first one of the deck, so I'm going to read it first. The Crown Spirituality, the first emanation, which I love, right? We just got these cards, and I pulled the first card of the deck. Brilliant. The first utterance, the font of energy through which In Saf, I know I said that wrong, emanates into the universe. The crown sits above the head and embodies that which is beyond our comprehension. One must envision Keter not as an object that can be perceived, but as the light that is cast upon it. The light is beyond knowability, a timeless expanse of pure consciousness. Only through respect for our own limitations do we begin to see the shadow of its nature. I just think this is so beautiful. And it just says, it is the dark orb beyond which lies the infinite. And it's the thought of, using this spirituality, right? This spiritual, if God, I can never say this word, epiphany, faith, the humility of humanity, right? Just humility. Like when we think of that, I just feel like in faith, we're just talking about how the universe works through people, or God works through us. And that's our spirituality. So it's just a reminder that this crown is there for all, right? We all have a crown, so it's tapping into that third eye, really lighting it up, reminding ourselves on a daily basis, whether that's spiritual practice or whatever works for you, to really get in touch with that and have humility or grace for yourself when you're being vulnerable, and that's the first utterance when we wake up in the morning, right? We're actually somehow have been shifted out of a meditation while we're asleep into, this thing we call life. So anyways, Nezta, right leg. So I'm going to move to that one. Netza. Sorry, I'm not saying this right. And I probably should have thought about that. So endurance. This is the seventh emanation, the force that resists. Stalwart is the face of adversity. This great leader carries us forth through our darkest times. Netza is the strength to endure, regardless of suffering. When we feel that we have reached our limits and yet new strength continues to emerge, we find the embrace of Netza. With any increase in force, he too grows stronger. Each challenge is met with equal vigor. So this is victory, exercise, and leadership. I don't know. For me, I've had a major victory. I'm getting really clear on the moves I'm currently making on the more corporate side, how that looks for me. Learning how to balance the energy I give maybe to an operational system, something that's not entrepreneur necessarily, somebody else's ideologies, but like helping doing renewable energy in the world. and making the world a healthier place, right? But doing my part on that and really getting clear with what that leadership looks like and how much victory or what victory looks like for me in those moments is what I'm currently working on. Just that, um, like how much energy we have in a day and learning what goes to that. But to me, it's been very victorious. And I feel so alive and excited right now. So this last deck, you guys will remember, it was blue. I used the tarot, the archangel Michael cards when I wanted to do a really lengthy reading with you guys. Archangel Michael is the first angel that came to me on my spiritual awakening. Most people have a very similar awakening. So this is the archangel powered tarot cards. Um, and I just like this one. It's Bradley Valentine, so it's different. And like I said, since I don't have the other deck with me, I wanted to get a deck that is just as big, but we can use. So I'm going to use these to kind of gain some wisdom through the angels. The angels are my thing. And like I said, I haven't used these before, but I'm going to just pull some, and the one that comes. So the first one comes Queen of Michael, okay? And something I like about these is it uses different archangels, right? So Michael, what do we think of Michael? Bold, strong, strength, leadership. Of course, it falls off the one we just read, right? The right leg one from the Torah. So the going through, right? So when I think of Michael, I see always a blue light. He has like a bright star face, and just that Captain America look, right? Like he's that strength. He's very regal. He's like, stand next to me. I got you. Bold. So this is the Queen of Michael. So maybe start thinking when we think Queen, femininity, just that brilliance that shines ahead of him. That so this is the idea of being a little bit more humorous with that brilliance, okay? A little bit in seeing that insightfulness, okay? You know exactly what to do, the benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. And I love that because I do believe in life when we focus less on love and more on getting ourselves straight, the rest naturally falls in, right? Because love always comes when we least expect it. But just really starting out this next year with just a strong foundation, I think is important right now, right? Because we all want something to kind of hang on to our own community. So I like that. So anyways, I'm gonna keep shuffling. I'm gonna pull a couple more, and I'm sorry this is kind of running long, but I hope you guys will enjoy it when you find it because it's been a minute. And oh, a quick shout out to Gina B. I did get your DM if I didn't talk about it earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. There's a couple of you guys. I really, if I'm ever on Instagram, it's because I talk to just one of my guy friends all the time because we don't live by each other anymore, and it's easier for me. But so when my little light comes on, that's what I'm doing. But I'm actually not on it. I post photos of my dog a lot because he makes me happy. But I more do that so it stays in everybody's paths. So when I start painting, it'll bounce back up, which is going to happen soon. I did just turn down an art show, but it's more so I just need to get a little bit more stable and get a routine, and then I'll be coming back to you guys. I promise it's been a hot minute since I painted, but it's coming. So anyways, I'm going to pull some of these, just the top three. And of course, Michael comes up, 10 of Michael again. You know, I'm not surprised at all because Michael is this strength. And I really find this angel really, for whatever reason, he always comes around at the beginning of the year a lot to me. I should just call him like my January, like February card, right? January, everybody's like, oh shit, how am I going to get my life together? February is like, holy blank, I have to deal with Valentine's Day. Okay. That's what happens. So this is the 10. Okay. So now we're at because this is tarot, we're going all the way up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're looking at endings, right? How do we let things go? So a situation has ended and you're finally free, right? So again, it's beautiful because this is how we kick off the next year, right? New opportunities for happiness. Again, this is January because like I told you, it's not December because I see it as that's the forefront of the beginning. So put the past behind you. So I love this, the ballerina taking a bow, and I think you guys should take a bow for yourselves because, again, if you've been following me, this we have finally made it to the 10, which is amazing with a major release. So I'm going to do the 6 of Ariel and the 5 of Ariel. So Ariel, let's talk about this lovely person. So this angel, some people see as a dude, some people see it as a woman. I see her as a woman. She's I can't ever really see her face. It's too bright. It's like a star. She envisions a element like a sun, but it's translucent for me, which means she can pass from the earth realm to like the spiritual realm. So when you think of a star, you still see stars at during. Technically, there's stars out during the day, just like they're at night, like they're still in the sky. And that's how I kind of see her. It's like I don't know. She's like the element that can go in between. That's how she's always come across to me. So the 5 of Ariel and the 6 of Ariel. The 6 came out first, so I'm going to go with it. It's in the middle of the numbers. So naturally, we just think of like what happens when you're in the middle, right? And that's it's just like that. I'm trying to think of this. It's like really honing in on yourself. Like, again, that alignment, being grateful for everyday things, like where we are in this moment, right? Being fulfilled, really taking that time to just sit and think to yourself, like, what can I be grateful for, right? Love, I'm grateful for my dog, a roof over my head, clean water, whatever that may be. Different people have different things for them. So I'm just going to read it. Material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways, which I've told you. I don't know if this is the same for my family, and I'd love to hear back from you guys. When I said family, I mean the family in my station. For me, I really zoned in on physical abundance, and I can't say enough of how the universe has helped me. Acts of kindness, giving or receiving with a grateful heart. So this is that almost like Buddhism theory of like karma, giving out and receiving at the same time. I can say something about myself. I always had a hard time giving extra money, like money in my cup or whatever, to like the people that stayed on the corner. And somebody once said to me, everybody chooses to do different things in their life. Like maybe these people choose, maybe they want their job to be stand at the corner, whatever they want to use the money for. Maybe that's their job. Maybe that's what makes them happy. Maybe they have some issue that is beyond us that we can't comprehend. Like, so it was almost, I realized in that moment, it was almost like I was judging them by not just giving the free, the extra I have. And so now that's how I see it. Like, if you want to go buy a drink, if you want to go buy drugs, whatever, you want to put food on your table, you want to use my money to throw away. But it's the idea of really stepping away from that ego and allowing really God's grace or whatever you use, just kindness, to give back and remind ourselves that I believe this: when you give, it comes back tenfold. So, and again, it's my story, it's my journey. I get to believe what I want. So I press that upon you in the year we come. And then 5 of Ariel. Okay. So interesting. We got 5 and 6, but it's cool because when I look at these, it's this glass that almost is like allowing the light to come through and shed onto her with this 5th one in farther dimension. Okay. And I love that because it's just it's reminding you that you're just so powerful as you move forward, right? Just reminding you that you have so much support. Okay. You're so powerful and light attracts light. So allow yourself. That's why as she steps forward, these 4 are next to her, right? But what's great is this one that is behind her is showing her, like, I support you even in your dark hours, right? That's what God talks about, but also the universe, right? So what comes to mind is this. People have said this to me my whole life. Brooke, you're just a powerful manifester. You know, I'm a person that speaks my existence into existence. So People used to say to me, "Oh, you need to have a job for 15 years before you can get that job, Brooke." Okay, so I'll share this. I knew what I wanted my job to be in the corporate world. I went and I painted. I went and did another job, and that was the job I got. Okay, you get to write your script. You get to align in the energy that attracts the energy. Okay, so this is your time to be like a cartoon character and write a story about this amazing protagonist, the main character, about everything he's going to attract this year and be the character, speak it into existence. So I don't ever say, like, oh, I want blah, blah, blah. I already have it. Okay. Well, where is it? I don't know. It's not here, but I own it. I have it because I speak things into existence. A lot of people get caught up in that. They're like, you're lying, you're this, you're that. No, you're speaking it into existence. Abraham Hicks believes in this. I believe in this. And what it does is when you talk about it as is, not what you wish, you step into energy that you already have it and then you align and own it. So it works. I'm a believer. When you talk about wishing, you sound desperate. When you talk about losing, you sound sad and your energy comes down. So, five of Ariel is you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. And I did not read that until now. And bam, I was tapped in, turned on, tuned in, as Abraham Hicks says. So that's really what I have today. I'll just allow all this sadness to go through you, turn it into tears of joy, not tears of sadness. And you'll really see some magical things being attracted to you. And I don't know who you're looking for communication with, but I'd say by like the end of the month, something will probably come through. You know, I've had this line that really hung with me the last it's pretty much been like 8 weeks and I heard it and I don't want to mess it up, but it's lies are sprints and the truth is a marathon. And I absolutely love that because, in this life, the truth hangs out, right? Lies come and go, drama comes and goes, gossip comes and goes. But if there's something that you truly want an answer to, and you choose not to keep all your energy on it, right? Again, Abraham Hicks. You allow it to come to you when it's ready. That's a proverb in the Bible, but it's the idea of information comes to you when you're ready to hear it or you're strong enough to deal with it, basically. And I believe in that. And that happened to me. There was some things that were outstanding that I really just needed that like nail in the coffin and more information on ways for myself to grow in certain situations. And I will say, I think this is what kind of COVID has brought up for a lot of people, just like this murk, this mud that we were all kind of stuck in. So I hope you've used this time to really grow. And I'm like, this is the time to get a job. The job market is so great right now. You can do anything you want. And I love you all. I hope to see you guys soon. And I hope this video finds you. So take care of yourself. Happy full moon and talk soon.